Hi, 8th grade. Welcome to lesson 2-3, solve multi-step equations. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to say, I can solve multi-step equations and pairs of equations using more than one approach. Let's solve and discuss it. A water tank fills through two pipes. Water flows through one pipe at a rate of 25,000 gallons an hour, through the other pipe at 45,000 gallons an hour. Water leaves the system at a rate of 60,000 gallons an hour. So there are three of these tanks, and each tank holds 1 million gallons. Each tank is half full. Water is entering and leaving a tank at the maximum amounts. Determine the number of hours X it will take to fill all three tanks at one time. So an equation to show water coming in and out would be 25,000 X, because it's per hour, and X is number of hours, plus 45,000 X minus 60,000 X. We want to know when will this fill the rest of the tank. And right now it's half full and it holds 1 million gallons. So we want it to equal 500,000. So these all have an X. So we can combine like terms. They have the same variable. 25,000 plus 45,000 gives us 70,000 minus 60,000, trying to equal 500,000. Combine like terms again, because these are both X's. Oh, I forgot the X over here. 70,000 minus 60,000 is 10,000. And we're trying to get X alone. So we're going to do the inverse operation of multiplication and divide by 10,000. So the answer would be X equals 50. So after 50 hours, all three tanks will be full. Focus on math practices. What are two different ways to simplify the expression 4 times 3x plus 7x plus 5 so that it equals 40x minus 20? Explain. Okay, the first way would be to distribute. That's one of your vocab words, the distributive property. So in the distributive property, it's when we are multiplying. So we have to multiply what's on the outside to everything on the inside. So 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times 7x is 28x. 4 times 5 is 20. But I'm not done because I see that these are like terms. So I can combine them to get 40x plus 20, which is what we were looking for. Oh, they must have a typo in here. I hope it's fixed on yours. We're trying to get to 40x plus 20. Okay, so the distribute first and then combine like terms. Or we can do the opposite and we can combine like terms first. So we've got 4, 3x plus 7x plus 5. We've got the 3x and the 7x, and we can combine those. So instead we can have 4 times 10x plus 5. Then the second step can be to distribute. So I distribute the 4 into everything inside the parentheses to get 40x plus 20. Remember, distributing means to multiply. Example number 1. A math teacher, recorded the distance he rode his bike last week. He challenged his class to find the number of miles he rode on Thursday. How far did he ride on Thursday? So we know that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday he rode 4x plus 3. Thursday he rode x, Friday x plus 7, and Saturday x plus 7. He also told us that the number of miles he rode Monday through Wednesday is the same as the total number of miles he rode Thursday through Saturday. So that's why we set them equal to each other. So 4x plus 3 is going to be on one side, and then we're going to combine Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that's what they did here. They did x, and then they multiplied 2 times x plus 7. They did that because we have 2 x plus 7s. So then they distributed 2 times x and 2 times 7. Simplified, so that's just 2x and 14. Combine like terms, x and 2x. Remember, you can't combine on different sides of the equal sign. That gives us 3x. Then subtracted 3x from both sides. So 4x minus 3x is just x. And 3x minus 3x cancels out. Bring down the 14. Remember, we're trying to get x by itself. So what else is bothering the x? The plus 3. So subtract 3 from both sides. 3 minus 3 cancels out. We're just left with x. 14 minus 3 equals 11. Can check your answer by substituting. So the teacher rode 11 miles on Thursday. Solve the equation 3x minus 5 equals negative 25 plus 6x. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute. So it's 3 times x plus 3 times negative 5 minus 5x. So then we are going to combine or simplify to just 3x minus 15. We are going to combine like terms. We've got a 3x and a negative 5x to give me negative 2x. Then we are going to get the x's on one side. So we can add 2x to both sides. 6x plus 2x, well, hang on a second. Negative 2x plus 2x cancels out. We're left with negative 15. Negative 25 plus 8x, because 6x plus 2x equals 8x. Then, still trying to get x by itself. Got to get rid of the negative 25 and the 8. So remember SADMAP. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. Negative 15 plus 25 is 10, which is 8x. So we get left with x equals 10 over 8, or 5 over 4, or 1 1/4, or 1.25. Can you add x to negative 5x on the left side of the equation as the first step? No, because you have to distribute first. Example number 2. Distribute a negative coefficient to solve equations. So we're distributing the negative 5. Make sure the negative comes with it. So it'd be negative 5 times x. Remember, distribute means to multiply. Negative 5 times negative 2. You can read through these examples on your own. Example number 3. Use a distributive property on both sides of an equation. So we have to distribute twice. We have to distribute the 1/4. So it'd be 1/4 times x, 1/4 times 3. And then distribute the 1/2. Be careful with fractions. So 1/4 times x gives us x over 4. 1/4 times 3 gives us 3/4. 1/2 times x gives us x over 2 plus 1. Trying to get all the x's on one side. So they subtracted x over 2. Subtract. It cancels out here. Bring down the 1. X over 4 minus x over 2. We want to make it so that it has common denominators. So that's going to be x over 4 minus 2x over 4, which gives us negative x over 4, which is what they put right here. Now to get x by itself, going to multiply by negative 4 on both sides. That will cancel. X equals negative 1. I want you to try this one on your own. Remember, distribute, then combine like terms. Press play when you're ready to go over it. So we are going to distribute the -3 to everything inside the parentheses. -3 times -7 is 21. -3 times -x equals positive 3x. Remember, a positive times a negative times a negative is equal to a positive. Now we got to distribute the 1/2 in. So that gives me 1/2 x. 1/2 times 2 equals 1. Solve for x, so we got to get it only on one side. So I'm going to subtract 1/2 x from both sides. Okay. So we bring down the 21. 3x minus 1/2 x gives me 2.5x equals, this cancels each other out, 1. Now we're going to subtract 21 from both sides. So then 2.5, because these cancel, 2.5x equals -20. Last but not least, in order to get x alone, we are going to divide both sides by 2.5. X equals, get out my calculator, negative divided by positive gives us a negative. So 20 divided by 2.5. X equals 8. Oop, what did I just say? It's got to be negative. Okay. On the next page, when solving multi-steps equations, sometimes you distribute, then combine like terms. Other times you can combine like terms and then distribute. Remember, distribute means to multiply. All right, 8th grade, let's say it. I can solve multi-step equations and pairs of equations using more than one approach. Have a great day.